On August 20th, 1966, a kite fell on Morro do Ventum in Rio de Janeiro. It became the target of 3 young boys running to catch it. However, the kite was quickly forgotten. Paralyzed under a sky already dark with storm clouds, the first drops of rain stirred the boys lying on the ground. Before them were 2 lifeless men. Those young boys did not yet know it, but they had just stumbled upon the beginning of one of Brazil's most mysterious cases. Desperate, the eldest of the boys, Jorge da Costa Alves, 18 years old, ran to the house of a police officer nicknamed Tenenho, who lived nearby and was off duty. Jorge described what he had seen, but Tenenho did not believe him. Still desperate, Jorge returned home and called the police. The rain battered Rio de Janeiro that day, and the area described by Jorge was difficult to access. With help from the fire department, it took police 2 hours to reach the site. Guided by the foul odor, the officers located the bodies. They had been dead for some time, and nature would not be the only force disturbing the crime scene. The first responders had difficulty staying at the site. To make the environment more bearable, a firefighter suggested applying formaldehyde to the bodies to counter the smell. A terrible decision for the coroner, who would later examine the bodies in their altered state. Perhaps due to a lack of knowledge, the formaldehyde was applied. There were no signs of aggression or injury from firearms or blades on either body. Initially, the media portrayed the case as a possible ritual performed by homosexuals, which was later proven false. The bodies were identified using documents found on them. They were Miguel Jose Viano, 34, and Manuel Pereira de Cruz, 32, both electronics technicians. They were dressed in formal attire with black suits and raincoats, but the items found next to their bodies would be what pushed this case into the realm of the most mysterious in Brazil. 2 lead masks were discovered beside the bodies, shaped like goggles with no markings or identification. A few meters from the bodies, police also found an empty water bottle and a package containing 2 towels. In the pocket of one of the trousers, there were strange notes with symbols and numbers. Also found were 2 bus tickets from the Santo Antonio line dated August 15th, a handkerchief with the initials AMS, and a note handwritten by Miguel Jose Viana that read, 1630B at the agreed place. 1830, ingest capsules. After effect, protect metals. Await signal, mask. The bodies were transported for further examination, while the police tried to connect the items to reconstruct the sequence of events. Due to the material of the masks, theories emerged suggesting the men sought protection from radiation. Unfortunately, theories were all they had. The strange circumstances, the odd objects, and the lack of obvious connections attracted media attention not only in Brazil but worldwide. From Brazil to Japan, people speculated on the case. Some believed it involved government experiments, others mentioned time travelers, but the theory that gained the most traction was extraterrestrial contact. While conspiracy theories spread, the police focused on identifying who Miguel and Manuel were. Both were born and raised in Campos dos Goitacazes, Rio de Janeiro. Miguel, often called Didi, was married with 2 children. His family did not know anyone with the initials AMS found on the handkerchief. Manuel was also married with one child and had left no suspicious messages for his family. On August 17, 1966, the men told their families they were going to Sao Paulo to buy a car and electronic equipment. They were friends and specialists in installing television signal transmitters and repeaters. That day, they arrived at the Niterói bus station without any real intention of going to Sao Paulo. They carried around 2.3 million cruzeiros, about 830 Brazilian reals today. They visited the Fluscop electronics store and purchased the raincoats, but did not wear them despite the heavy rain. Next, they stopped at a bar near Morro do Ventum, where they purchased the water bottle later found at the crime scene. According to the bar employee, the men seemed rushed, as if they had a strict appointment. They left the bar and were found dead the next day. At the men's homes, police found several books on esotericism, spirits, and extraterrestrials. Miguel and Manuel were part of a spiritual group led by Elcio Gomez, where they conducted experiments involving explosives, which they called spiritual work. According to Miguel's brother, Herval Viano, the goal of these experiments was to help people solve spiritual problems. Though Herval was initially concerned, Miguel assured him it was safe and that the explosions were meant to ward off lower spirits. Elcio Gomez was arrested and interrogated but was eventually released, as no evidence linked him to the deaths. There were no signs of explosions at the crime scene. The story took another twist when Gracinda Barbosa Coutinho de Souza reported seeing a large, orange, circular flying object with a red glow around it near Morro do Ventum on the night of August 17th. She and her children were driving when they stopped to observe the strange object. Her testimony was published in the magazine O Cruzeiro, fueling UFO theories further. Amid the sensational theories, the police returned to the evidence. The note mentioning ingesting capsules suggested the men had consumed some substance. However, to confirm this, toxicology reports were needed. Unfortunately, the investigation met its dead end here. On August 21st, Hilton Magalhães, head of personal security at the police department, was murdered. His body was prioritized, and the corpses of Miguel and Manuel were sidelined. Their bodies were released without a proper death certificate by a staff member named Manica, who was not qualified for the task. Herval repeatedly requested further investigation and was eventually given a death certificate, stating that decomposition was too advanced to determine the cause of death. The coroner's office had mishandled the bodies, storing their organs improperly, rendering toxicology tests impossible. A year later, the bodies were exhumed, but once again, no conclusions could be drawn. Without signs of violence, deaths, or enemies, the deaths remained a mystery. Officially, the police ruled the cause of death as a failed parapsychological experiment. However, the lack of proper investigation left only theories behind. To this day, the case remains unsolved, leaving us to wonder, what really happened on that fateful day? Share your theories in the comments below. Maybe together, we can shed light on the unsolvable. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most chilling mysteries. Until next time, stay curious and keep questioning the unknown.